more and more, if you've got a business, you need to be making yourself more accessible online and in the social media and through video. But we're not all movie producers. How do we do that? Well, that's where RaDeana Montgomery comes in. She's the creative director of RAM Media, Video and Social Media Management. It's true, we need to be more available to people's Google searches and YouTube searches and all of that, right?
Oh, that's correct, definitely. I mean, that's where people spend most of their time is online, and that's what they're doing. They're Googling.
It's true. No matter if you're selling croissants or baby video, like whatever it is, we need to be able to find you easily. So explain in more detail what your business is.
Well, what I do is I work with businesses, small businesses. I get a lot of real estate agents, and I help them get found, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. So my job is to help them get the awareness of their brand out to the public. Because as we know, most people are on the smartphones, whether they're traveling back and forth from work or whether they're at work and they're supposed to be paying attention, and then they Google something like, oh, I need to go out for dinner, or I need to find this for my mom or my father or my child, and that's what they do, they Google it. So my job is to help them find the right search words, so the keywords that would go into a Google search, and then making sure the content is there, which is very, very important. So that content could be something like a story about the company, or it could be, as you mentioned, video, which to me is probably the most important thing, because as we're finding with statistics, most people watch video more so than reading, unfortunately. And on Facebook alone, 80% of people will watch a video versus reading something about it. And then we're also finding that consumers are becoming so educated when they go to buy a product. And it's partly because they've done their research online, they've watched a video. So when they're walking into the store, so if they're buying a car or buying appliances, they already know what they want, because they've already spent that time looking. So things have changed a lot, and it's changing constantly.
How on earth did you get into this business? Where did you see the need?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, my background is in journalism, broadcast journalism, and print. So I've always been a writer or a video person. And so back in the day when we were doing video, you could only utilize it for television. And so it wasn't the same effectiveness as it is today. So going back a few years ago, I was working for a chamber of commerce, so working with business people. And that's when sort of social media was kind of just coming on the cusp and people not understanding what had to happen. So I could see that need, and I could see where businesses could utilize it and cost-effective ways to utilize it. So of course I did my research, watched a lot of videos, did a lot of research, and then found that niche. So I'm lucky in the sense that I got into it a few years ago when it was just sort of making that preview into the internet world. And from there, I've just been adding different things to it, and whether it's doing a Facebook feed, but also including the video and the graphics that go with it.
If I was running a business, I might say, well, I don't want to be on camera. I'm not an actor. How do you help them?
Well, I get that a lot. I think there's that fear. There's always that fear of that perception of what people think. So there's lots of ways to do video without you necessarily being on camera. But I always do try to encourage people. I do work with them. I mean, my job is to make them feel comfortable so that when they are in front of the camera, they don't feel that fear. But it's about branding. So at the end of the day, I always say, we're building relationships on video, whether we're in person, and people I hate to say this, but they'll make a judgment call on your business based on what they see. So if they see that you're very outgoing or friendly or you smile a lot, they will seem to resonate to that as a business. But there's ways around it. It can be voice. I mean, some people have exceptional voices, so we could do the video with it just being a voice. So it's trying to get them over the fear and then working with them. And I would never, ever leave anybody hanging out there in front of the camera, because I know what that's like.
We've got a little bit of time. What makes your business unique?
Well, I think what makes it unique is that combination of video and social media. So there's people who do video and they're very good at it, and there's people who do social media and they're very good at it, but it's the marrying of the two. And it's also being able to be a one-stop business. So coming to me, I can do the video and I can do the social media, and you don't have to get two businesses involved. But also with the video, I can tag it properly. I understand the SEOs that you need on Google and the key search words. So when I'm putting the video out there, I can make sure all those things are there. And it's not just as simple as let's just upload this video, throw it on YouTube and go on a wing and a prayer and hope that somebody finds it. It's a little more than that. And I think it just keeps it together. When I'm working with companies that sometimes provide me with stuff that's outsourced and brought in, it's a little more complicated to try to get that together. Marketing strategies, that's all part of it. So it's a huge picture to put it all together.
Man, well, it sounds like I'd rather have you do it for me than try and figure it out myself. So how do we contact you?
Well, I have a website, rammediavideo.ca. I'm on all the social media, so you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and I have a YouTube channel that you could subscribe to. So I think if you just Google me, you'll probably find me. There's lots of key points there.
Google RaDeana Montgomery, Ram Media, Video and Social Media Management. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Val, for having me on
It's
the show.
the future.
It is.